Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah ma ba'd. The question is asking here, this is actually a very good question. And again, this is the issue where the ulama have differed. If a person has the intention to do an act of worship outside of Ramadan, for it to be executed inside of Ramadan, will they get the reward for the act of worship inside Ramadan or outside Ramadan? For example, a person gives money for feeding a fasting person before Ramadan. So he says to the masjid, here's, I don't know, an amount of money every single night, or at least one night, I want you to feed the people for iftar, for example. I'm going to donate some dates, I'm going to donate some water. This is in Sha'ban, before Ramadan, and I want it to be given to people in Ramadan. Will they get the reward for this action in Sha'ban, because that's when they had the niyyah? Or will they get the reward for it to be done in Ramadan, because that's when the action actually occurs? Similar to this, I remember this is the masala that we studied with our Sheikh Salih Shithri. A person assumes ihram in Sha'ban, and then he does the umrah in Ramadan. So say for example he goes past the miqat at Asr and it's Sha'ban. He arrives in Mecca and he arrives in Masjid al-Haram, and now it's Maghrib and now Ramadan has begun and they started Salatul Tarawih on the first night of Ramadan. Is his umrah Sha'ban umrah or is it a Ramadan umrah? And the opposite as well, a person passes the miqat in Ramadan. He's now assumed the ihram. He gets to Masjid al-Haram, but now it's Shawwal. Ramadan's finished. Does he get the reward of performing umrah inside of Ramadan or outside of Ramadan? Now our Sheikh Saad, he said it depends when the intention took place. Because innamal a'malu bin niyat. And when the intention takes place, that is then the reward that is written, because the Messenger of Allah said, Man hamma, whoever intends, has the firm resolve to do a good deed, then he gets one reward. So now it's connected to the intention. So at the point of intention, that's where he gets the reward. So if he gives, I don't know, £10 outside of Ramadan for people to be fed inside of Ramadan, he will get that £10 reward for outside Ramadan, not inside, because the reward is connected to the point of intention. Others from the ulama have said, no, it's at the point of when the action has been completed, because the action hasn't occurred yet. Now he's only getting a reward for the intention, so that's one reward, but when the action takes place, that's times by 10, al-hasana bi-ashri amthaliha. So when the actual action takes place, that's when the person will get the reward. So if he gives the money before Sha'ban, if he assumes ihram if he gives the money before Ramadan in Sha'ban, and if he assumes ihram in Sha'ban before Ramadan, but he does the action when people are fed inside of Ramadan, even though he intended it outside of Ramadan, he will get the reward for inside of Ramadan. Similar to a person who gives something inside Ramadan, but the action takes place outside of Ramadan, he will get the reward for outside of Ramadan, not inside Ramadan. So that's the view of some of the ulama. For me, I think the stronger view is the first one, from our Sheikh Salih Shithri, that is connected to the intention. And there is qiyas in this also. So for example, if a person, we get this all the time. So a person comes into the office and he says, I've got some zakat to pay. So we accept his zakat. Say his zakat is due on the 12th of April. I'm just looking at the time right now, on the date. Say his zakat is due on the 12th of April. He's paid today. We might not give zakat for another couple of days, maybe another week, because we've not managed to find someone, or we're collecting and we're going to transfer it. But he has completed the zakat. He has completed the zakat at the point of intention and action, but the action has not been completed just yet because the poor has not received his money. If we were to say it is completed at the point of action, then we will say that this person has been delayed. So there is qiyas in the books of fiqh when it comes to this particular mas'ala. And that's, for me, I think the stronger view is that once the person has got the firm resolve and he's parted with the money and he's donated, or whatever it might be, or he's worn the ihram, at the point of him having the intention and making that resolve and then appointing someone, that's when the reward is connected. And that's when the reward is established. But again, like we have said before, the mercy of Allah cannot be limited. So just because the person pays in Sha'ban, and we're saying that's where the reward lies, not in the action that takes place in Ramadan, who's to say that they won't get rewarded for his action to be completed in Ramadan? Who's to say that? Nobody can categorically say that. But as a mas'ala for us to understand, we will say that the action is connected to the point of intention. And when the person had done the action at that point of intention, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He grants us all tawfiq and success and acceptance. Wallahu a'lam wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad.